What's going on, everyone? Darkwater here, and welcome to Model Railway Easily 2. Uh, for those of you who might not have seen it before, this is a game where you're building a model railway, just kind of like you would be doing on your kitchen floor with some model trains growing up. There are a bunch of assets that you can use, different houses, trains, all kinds of different things. Um, this is Model Railway Easily 2. There's a Model Railway Easily 1 that does not have the ability to adjust the terrain. So the second one does. There's also a free Christmas version, and there's a couple of Christmas videos from Christmas Past on the channel. This is basically a medium board. So this is a 2x2. There's basically a 1 square, a 2x2 square, 3x3, 4x4, and then there's various other lengths and widths. So you can get a 3x1 and do some interesting stuff. So again, I laid down the initial track here and was commenting about this a long time ago. It might have even been during the Christmas build that I did. That I kind of wanted to do a wintery theme with the full game, because there's a lot more assets in the full game than just the ones from the Christmas. And so that's what we're doing in the next couple videos. I think it's only 3 videos long. So because of some of the tedious nature of it, I am just going to run this as a time lapse, and then there's some cinematic shots at the end. So this layout will have a bunch of snow, but that I hold off until the end because that is something that takes a bit. So we're running 2 separate lines, the one on the bottom and then this elevated one. If I went with the 4x4, potentially I could do more, but I just kind of wanted to do something kind of quick and enjoyable, and I wanted to really make sure I got the winter one in there. I said that I wanted to get it in, and given the fact that I saw this coming Tuesday, uh, this should go out Saturday, April 8th of 2023, and the following Tuesday I see it's supposed to be like 99 here, so 99 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, we're gonna do a winter theme before it gets really toasty here. I do both tracks are just freight lines. I don't do any kind of passenger service or anything. And on the lower portion of the board, not the mountainous terrain that we're building up here, but the lower portion is basically factory. And so we just kind of do a coal mine and a couple different factories, get some vehicles in there. One of the quirks to the game, because this can be a little on the tedious side, but some of the quirks are this water. You just lower the terrain all the way down and then you get water. And so there are different times that you could see from the edge of the board there's actually water underneath it. But primarily we're looking at basically 2 sides, not really focused too much on that the water side, but the side to the right hand side of the screen is basically, you could imagine that it's up against the wall. So once we got the mountains in, went back through and just kind of did some ridges throughout to give it a little bit more, I don't know, personality, make it a little bit more realistic looking. We've got the bridge underneath there, and below that we will end up putting a coal mine in there with some coal deposits. There is a few other games in a similar type vein. Rolling Line was one that was recommended to me on one of the prior builds, and I've taken a look at that, and that might be something I do end up downloading and playing. There's a couple others that are soon to come out, and I'm kind of excited to wait and get those so we can build those out. I like model railway easily, even with all of its, we'll go with quirks, given the it has a little bit more realistic feel to it. Rolling Line is, I don't want to say it's a little bit more cartoony, but it's got a little bit more of a different kind of non-realistic feel to it. But I am thinking about downloading that because it does have a lot more features and a lot more different assets that you can use. So now we've got the train lines set up and we've got the mountains in. Now it's just adding a bunch of trains onto the track, and it took me a minute to get all of these onto the proper track. And again, quirks of the game. We do add a bunch of cars within the switch tracks up in the top part of the screen, and those are just going to be stationary. You can, if I recall, set it up to have the trains pick up some of the cars. The switch tracks basically alternate left and right as the train passes over it. And so that is one of the interesting things that happens with it. So it's basically flipping back and forth each time you go over the switch track. But we add the rest of the cars. It does have a good amount of cars and engines in the game. The rest of the assets, like some of the buildings, I wish there was a few more of, especially whenever it comes to like vehicles, like cars and trucks, as well as people. I think there's 5 different people in the game, and it's not quite what I would want. I'd want a little bit more variation within the people, but we'll see more of that in the second episode. Um, so we're just finishing getting the all the cars in the switched area here set up. The lower train is running, and now we're just going to add in the upper train. And that's what we get done in this episode. The next one is focused more on just kind of laying out the factories and doing some of the additional assets through there. And then we get into adding in some of the snow effects. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Again, after this, we will have some cinematic shots of what we've got built so far. But thank you all for watching. I appreciate you guys for being here, and I look forward to seeing you guys again in Model Railway Easily 2. And as always, I hope you guys have yourselves a fantastic day.